they've been taking stakes in companies like Lyft and Tango. These are second and third tier players in their specific area. How does this make sense? Why not Snapchat, for example, which is #1?
Well, I think if you give some time to that question, you'll see Alibaba continue to be aggressive, investing in and acquiring assets around the globe, U.S. included. This company at heart is an e-commerce business, and they've got the largest marketplace in the world. They're looking to acquire companies and invest in companies that can help more buyers come on the platform and engage more with the platform, and conversely, more sellers to come on the platform, sellers with products of different varieties, as Joe mentioned in your earlier interview.
So why not a company like Snapchat? Was the valuation too high?
Well, I think that they're going to look at lots of companies, Snapchat and many, many others, and they'll make the assessment with each company as to whether or not it's going to serve their needs, which again is to build their marketplace.
Why didn't Snapchat serve their needs?
Snapchat is a really interesting business. It has a lot going for it, and it's also a business that's very focused on a specific set of users. Alibaba has to look at that investment just like any other, and again determine whether or not it's really going to fit the needs of their marketplace.
I thought his answer to my PayPal question was interesting because he said, we think that's going to happen, that transaction is going to happen next year, meaning PayPal will be spun off from eBay next year. So obviously they're following it.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
So, again, you have to realize Alibaba is a company that's now playing on a global stage. So they're going to look at all major companies, all major deals going on around the world. The U.S. is a big part of their business going forward, and certainly any transaction with a PayPal, with an eBay, is going to catch their attention.
How interested are they in PayPal? Why would they be interested in PayPal?
Well, I think what Joe mentioned in his prior interview with you is that he's really focused on what's going on with Alipay, which is a very similar business to PayPal in China. He feels like there's a lot of growth left in Alipay, and although Alipay is not part of the Alibaba group, there's an economic relationship between those two, so Joe's very focused, as is the management team, on what's going on with Alipay. And so I think he's looking at PayPal as a reflection of what's going on with Alipay.
The Apple-Alibaba potential partnership, you don't hear Apple being very open about the future in any way, shape, or form. And here you have Tim Cook saying he'd be open to a marriage. Jack Ma said the same thing. I know that they were both being effusive, but, it sounds like something's going to happen there, that they don't just like each other very much.
Well, I think something already is happening if you take the perspective of this is all about Apple and its focus on China. I was in China all last week, and I can tell you that the economy there is continuing to boom, regardless of, despite what you may hear from pundits here, there's consumerism's on the rise in China, particularly in the new economy. And look at Apple's earnings every quarter, and you'll see that China is a huge percentage of the growth in Apple's financial results. So they care a lot about China, and Alibaba is a ticket into China. It's very important. They have now 300 million plus people in China buying on their platform. So anybody who wants to sell into China, Apple included, is going to pay a lot of attention to Alibaba.
What about Hollywood? Jack Ma has been making a tour through Hollywood. Obviously, there's the Lionsgate situation. What does Alibaba want out of Hollywood? What does Hollywood want out of Alibaba?
Well, let's go back to first principles with Alibaba. This is an e-commerce company. Marketplace really matters to them. They need to add liquidity to that marketplace every day to add value to all participants in it. So first step in adding content as part of their strategy was an investment they made in Youku, another GGV portfolio company, which is the largest video player in China.
Kind of like YouTube.
Kind of like YouTube. That's a first step, and that's an opportunity for them to bring video onto their platform, help merchants sell via video, where there's lots of consumers who are very engaged with the content. I think you'll see the same moves with Hollywood. They'll look to add content, look to ultimately add engagement to the platform, which again adds liquidity and ultimately drives value.